The observation deck of Station Kepler 7 offered a view that never failed to inspire wonder. 3 binary stars dancing in an eternal waltz against the cosmic dark. But Mira Solon barely noticed them anymore. After 2 cycles teaching xenobiology to the galaxy's youth, even supernovas became routine. "Class, please direct your attention to Specimen Tank 7, Mira announced, her voice carrying the practiced patience of someone who'd explained photosynthesis to methane breathers more times than she could count. 23 pairs of eyes and several sensory organs that defied easy classification turned toward the glowing container. Among them sat Kira, a small predator cub from the Vakrii concordance. Her species resembled what ancient Earth might have called a cross between a fox and a mantis, with silver fur that rippled like liquid metal and compound eyes that missed nothing. Unlike her gregarious classmates, Kira always sat in the back, her translator collar humming softly as she absorbed every word Mira spoke. The humans were still new to the Galactic Assembly, barely 3 generations since first contact. Most species viewed them with polite curiosity, the way one might regard a clever pet that had learned an amusing trick. Harmless, soft, their world classified as a death world only by the narrowest technical margin. Mira had grown accustomed to the subtle condescension. She smiled through it, taught her classes, and tried to bridge the vast gulf between human and alien understanding. The explosion changed everything. It began with a sound, or rather, the absence of one. The station's ever-present hum simply stopped. In the half-second of eerie silence that followed, Mira's hindbrain, that ancient part of human consciousness that had kept her ancestors alive through ice ages and saber-tooth attacks, screamed danger. She moved without thinking. "Everyone down!" Her hand slammed the emergency containment button as she lunged toward her students. The observation deck's transparent aluminum wall buckled outward, crystalline fractures spreading like frozen lightning. Beyond it, one of the station's fuel cells had ruptured, spewing plasma into the void. The wall exploded inward. Mira felt herself moving through molasses, each microsecond stretched into eternity by adrenaline. Her body became a shield. Arms spread wide as she threw herself over the cluster of students nearest the blast. She felt the impact shrapnel tearing through her shoulder, superheated air searing her back, the crushing weight of debris, then darkness. Consciousness returned in fragments. White ceiling, sterile smell, the soft beep of medical equipment. Mira tried to move and immediately regretted it, as pain lanced through her torso. "Easy, Instructor Solon." A Valorian medic materialized beside her bed, their crystalline fingers adjusting an IV line. "You've been in medical stasis for 4 cycles. Your injuries were extensive. The students?" Mira's voice came out as a rasp. "All survived, thanks to you." The medic's expression was unreadable, but something in their tone suggested profound confusion. "Your actions during the incident have caused quite a stir in the assembly." Before Mira could ask what that meant, a commotion erupted in the corridor outside. Voices raised in multiple languages, the clicking of claws on metal flooring, and above it all, a high-pitched chittering that Mira recognized. Kira burst through the door, her translator collar announcing, "She wakes, the protector wakes." The small Vakrii cub scrambled onto Mira's bed with surprising gentleness, her compound eyes whirling with colors Mira had learned to interpret as joy and relief. Behind her came what appeared to be half the station's administration, the headmaster, several assembly officials, and to Mira's shock, a human delegation wearing the formal blues of Earth's diplomatic corps. "Miss Solon," the lead diplomat began, his voice tight with barely suppressed emotion. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" Mira blinked. "I protected my students? You threw yourself on an explosive breach to shield aliens." This from a Korth official, their tentacles writhing in agitation. "Your species has no natural armor, no regenerative capabilities. You had to have known the probability of your survival was less than 12%. "I didn't really think about it," Mira admitted. "They were children. My children. What else was I supposed to do?" The silence that followed was profound. Kira's collar spoke again. But this time the translation seemed inadequate for the complexity of emotion in her chittering. "In my culture, we keep the chronicles, the great record of debts. When one saves another, their name is inscribed in eternal honor. She produced a small device that projected a holographic document, script flowing in beautiful, alien calligraphy. I have added your name to Earth's chronicle, instructor. The Vakrii Concordance now recognizes humanity's debt of life. My people, my government, my entire species. Kira's voice dropped to a reverent whisper. We thought humans were soft, weak. We did not understand that you are soft the way a blade's sheath is soft, protecting something infinitely harder within. The human diplomat cleared his throat. It's not just the Vakrii, Miss Solon. 14 species whose children you saved have formally upgraded humanity's status in the Assembly. We're no longer considered a probationary member. We didn't understand, the Korth official said quietly. We judged you by your lack of natural weapons, your fragile biology, your short lifespans. We didn't realize these things made you more dangerous, not less. Because you know, truly know that you can die. And you do it anyway. Mira looked down at Kira, who had curled up carefully beside her undamaged arm, purring, or whatever the Vakrii equivalent was. She thought about her students, each one, alive and whole. She thought about the split-second decision that had defined her, that had apparently defined her entire species in the eyes of the galaxy. We protect our own, Mira said simply. Even when our own are furry, or scaly, or made of crystalline energy. That's just what we do. Kira's translator collar hummed. Yes. Protector. We understand that now. The galaxy understands that now. As the officials filed out and Mira drifted back toward healing sleep, she could have sworn she heard the small Vakrii cub whisper one final thing. A phrase that would echo through assembly chambers for generations to come. Beware the soft ones, for they are hardest when it matters most.